Hey, good morning. It's Thursday, July 13th, and welcome to Everyday Talk 24/7. I'm going to be releasing videos in the morning, most of the time from now on, just to give us a good start on the day. And I'm going to today begin a series on how anger is the enemy of your heart. It's the enemy of the hearts of those that we love as well. I'm not talking about the righteous anger that is appropriate for us to have, but our anger that produces so much strife, anxiety, and upset. The Proverbs, I'm going to start with Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1 is the one we talk about a lot. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. But it's really part of a larger section in the Proverbs. And this is why the chapter headings that are not very helpful here. Actually, there's a section from beginning Proverbs 14:33 through 15:4, which addresses this larger concern about how we talk to one another and what's productive and what's not. Let me read 14:33 for you. In the heart of the discerning, wisdom comes to rest, and in the midst of fools, she reveals herself or shows herself. This, brothers and sisters, has really gripped me. The heart of the discerning, wisdom finds a home there, finds rest. If wisdom finds rest in my heart, in my soul, in my spirit, this is going to impact everything that I do. Keep me from the tendency to anxiety and frustration and all of that. So that's the beginning of this little section here on instruction. That's our goal. Having wisdom, find a home and find a place of rest and deepen our hearts. Anger, however, attempts to root out that rest and replace it with strife, upset, crushed spirits, and broken relationships. That's what anger does. It doesn't want us to be at home resting in wisdom and trusting God. Our anger wants us to be stirring things up. Now we can look at Proverbs 15, verses 1 to 4, and get a feel for what's going on here. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise adorns knowledge, but the mouth of fools gush folly. I'm going to skip down to verse 4. The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. You see, anger appeals to us because we think that our direct, angry words will actually strengthen and reinforce the point that we're trying to make. We think anger will cause people to hear us, to take notice of us. Well, it will, but not in the way we think it will. It'll actually have the opposite effect. You see, our anger may produce compliance, but this will not help to build heart allegiance. And that heart allegiance is towards God. And the goal here is not changing behavior, not getting people to comply to what I want, or my children to comply, or my husband or wife to comply, but rather to build heart allegiance with God. And we see this goal in Deuteronomy 6, again, another familiar passage, verses 5 through 7. Notice again the emphasis on connecting to the heart. And you must love the Lord your God with all of your heart. You must commit yourself wholeheartedly with every ounce of your being, of your heart, to the commands that God's giving us. Not simply for compliance, but for heart allegiance. And then you want to repeat these again and again to your children, talking about them all throughout the day. The goal is to transmit and build heart allegiance. What your anger does is that it transmits a heart that is angry and upset and frustrated. And it crushes the spirits of those whom we love. Remember, verse 1, 15. A harsh word stirs up anger. Verse 4, a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. You want to reach your children's hearts so that anger is turned away and a relational climate of openness to God's truth is created. That's how this heart allegiance is done. As verse 2 says in Proverbs 15, your words are to adorn knowledge and wisdom, not build barriers to keep them from it. Compliance is not the goal. Simple behavior is not the goal. Rather, you want to build a heart allegiance to God. And you do that with gentle speech. And we're going to talk tomorrow about speech that is building and how we're going to get that done. So I'm not going to spend much more time on how to today, except that that's what's coming. I've got plenty of data looking at the Proverbs to help us with that. But I want to focus on here, your heart, your anger is the enemy of your heart. It's the enemy of building a strong allegiance to God with your children. See, your anger means that there will be no rest in your heart. And not only will you crush the spirits of those whom you love, your anger will crush your spirit. So when we vent and we think we're doing something that's helpful by getting our point across with anger, because they won't listen to us any other way, what we're doing is driving folks away from us. We're driving folks away from God, and we're not trusting Him. We are letting anger rule. And when anger rules, everyone loses. And we become crushed. We crush the hearts of those that we love. We crush our own hearts. Our own spirits are crushed by our anger. We think we're getting on top of it. We're not. Again, tomorrow we're going to have some really good insight about how we can be positive about this. But I just want to stress this today. That gentle answer, it drives out the anger. But the harsh, angry word stirs it up and keeps it going. And no one wins. And that's the thought for this day. Give me some feedback on this, and let's be done with anger that crushes and be about building relationships with heart allegiance to God, and peace and security is the result. And, thanks so much for being here. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. May God richly bless you as you seek to live for His glory.